Hello, Ed. How are you today?
I'm fine. You?
I'm great. Thank you so much for your time today. How are you doing? How have you been holding up, my friend?
Well, I haven't used the bra yet.
You just got a vaccine now.
The second shot.
Yeah, it's been a rough year, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, let's get started. Lots to ask you. I am talking to you from Toronto, and I know that you've been to Canada many times. Yeah, we know we've had you here. You did your one-man show just a few years ago here in Barrie, Ontario. What was it like for you to get on that stage and do that show? I know you took it around to other places, but just, your recollections of sitting there doing that one-man show and talking about a topic that is so important.
Well, yeah, so man it is. Um, but no, I love Canada and I love the audiences that I play to. They are wonderfully receptive and responsive, and I couldn't ask for better.
That's good. Well, we love you. So, we of course are going to be responsive to you, of course. But I got to ask you, sorry, go ahead.
How far is Barrie from you?
Oh, about 90 minutes, an hour from here, from Toronto, just north on the 400 highway. So not that far. But why did you choose Barrie? Why didn't you do it in the city, in Toronto?
That's us.
They, according to my source, my spy,
Yes.
they reached out to us. They heard about the show and they reached for us and they grabbed me.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. Listen, nothing against Barrie. I just would have liked you to come here in Toronto. I was trying to look back in your career to see if you had ever been on the stage here.
Why didn't you do it?
Yeah, I mean, I would have loved to have had you come here. The Mervish company would have brought you in, 100%.
It's not too late.
Yeah, I know it's not too late. We can get you back after they open the borders. We'll look into that for you. Let's start with the movie. What brought us here? Rainbow's End. This is your most recent thing that we've seen you do on screen. I think it's a pretty important film, to be honest with you. The topic really got me, about a couple who are adopting a child that has a violent streak, yet they never give up on him. What was it about this role? I know that you play one of the character's fathers, and he's a bit, hey, no big surprise, he's a bit of a curmudgeon. He's a little grouchy, doesn't want to accept his daughter's lifestyle. But that's okay. But what was it about that you thought, I want to take this role on?
Well, I like to be on the cutting edge. I think it's a cutting edge movie.
Definitely.
Yeah. And I think it's a wonderful age with all of the horrors that we've gone through in the past year.
Yeah.
It is a wonderful age of discovery. It's like Balboa and Champlain and all the others setting up the scene, across the scene,
Mm-hmm.
new worlds. And that's what has been created for us in this change of attitude towards blacks and browns and LGBTQs.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful time to exist if you're strong enough.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very important. I completely agree with you. And this one really touched a nerve because, yes, it deals with this gay couple, but just the fact that if people are willing to adopt and they want a child, but they take on this child that they know has this issue and they never give up on him. I think that, as hard as it gets in the film, it was very hard. It was really touched me.
Good.
Yeah. Have you watched it?
Uh-huh.
Have you seen it and seen it back yet?
Yep.
Yeah, well, you're really good in it, but no big surprise.
Let's see.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's good to, it's a good performance. I want to talk to you a little bit about the great Cloris Leachman, because Cloris's last film was shot here in Canada. It's called Jump Darling. It's opening here next week. And I had all her cast reminisce a little bit about Cloris Leachman, about working with her. Nobody knows her better than you. Can you tell me a little bit about your best memory of Cloris Leachman?
Oh, you know the story.
We want to hear it from you.
Yeah, you lying cheater. You know the story. Well, when Mary Tyler Moore started, I felt a closeness to Cloris. I don't know why. I guess I loved her busyness and
Yeah.
her chicken little attitude. We used to sit out in her car when we weren't rehearsing, and we'd smooch. And it got pretty steamy in that car. And finally, one day, I guess I blurted out something. I gotta have you. Which was easy to say, of course.
Yeah.
And she said, well, she has a weight fetish. She couldn't stand fat. So she said, you lose 30 pounds
Yeah.
and you can have me.
Okay.
My God.
That would be incentive enough, huh?
It was world shaking. I set about on my diet
Yeah.
to lose 30 pounds. Something innate in me made it certain that I would only lose 29.
Oh, Ed.
I think, and she didn't goad me and I didn't rush it.
That's okay.
We just never made the 30 pounds. It's like Jesus and the 30 pieces of silver.
But you know, you guys, that group of friends, and I say friends because when you look, I grew up with your stuff. You know, Mary Tyler Moore, Lou Grant, I mean, all the stuff that you did. But when you look at that group of actors and the bond was so clear on screen. Could you ever repeat that again? I mean, the days of TV back then and what we see now, I don't think you could reenact that.
Well, we're like, I mean, we're old. We're less needy. We're more sophisticated, supposedly.
Yeah.
I don't think we could achieve it again, that intensity and appreciation of each other. Because we knew we were dealing with gold.
Yeah.
We thought we were the luckiest people in the world.
Yeah. Well, we were lucky to be able to watch it and experience it. But after the fact, you know, you look at who's still around. There's you, Betty White, and Gavin.
That's
Are
it.
you guys still close?
Oh, John Amos. Yeah.
And John Amos. I'm so yeah.
Gavin is buried down in the desert someplace. He would be close if I could reach him, and I don't go down to the desert.
Okay.
Of course, unfortunately, took a pass.
Yeah.
But Betty White, she's a game girl,
Yep.
but unfortunately, she tends to be incommunicado.
Okay. Well, I'd love to see. Well, so just recently though, you got together, I think on Zoom in December with the cast of Elf. And that movie, I mean, I think that's the last time I actually sat down and spoke to you. There was a junket in New York City and we had a one-on-one interview then. It's amazing how that film is still today more, every new generation watches it. What is it about that movie?
Well, I, I loved it from the beginning
Yeah.
because I got tired of the Edmund Gwynn Santa, the fuddy-duddy old sweetheart of a man.
Yeah.
And I love the balls that my Santa incorporated and projected. And he was a man Santa.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I much prefer him.
Yeah. And working with somebody like Will Ferrell, especially back then, and you look at him now, did you know when you were working with him that guy was going to be, he's pretty brilliant.
Oh, he is. He really is. And before he came along, I was entranced by Ted Knight's brilliance.
Yeah.
He was the funniest man I'd ever come across. And then Will came along and showed me that he could go even further.
Yeah. I want to know what your secret is for not breaking when you're doing a scene. When you think back on working with those people, Ted Knight, Will Ferrell, Mary Tyler Moore, all those people, all those legends. How do you not do it? Do you have a secret?
It only happened once when we were all discussing our toupees. It became a general discussion, and everybody, including Gordy, had his. That's the only one who didn't have a toupee. I was busy showing my new one, and all the others chimed in. But Ted was the only one who didn't show his toupee.
Oh.
That's the only time we broke up with each other. I used to find it a pain in the ass, frankly.
Yeah.
Watch the Carol Burnett show and watch all of them break each other up. And
Yeah.
no, that it was triggered, that it was cultivated. And I believed in the discipline of the theater.
Yeah. Yeah, because I, as an audience member, kind of sometimes like seeing that though, because it shows humanity. It just shows you're human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I don't do it.
Yeah.
And,
well, because you're classically trained, right?
Yeah, I like to think so.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you look at some of the more recent things that you've done, Ed, and I watched you on the series Dead to Me, great series. You had a great role in that just recently. And then now all the kids are watching you on Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of hullabaloo, or else there's a paucity of TV that makes the job or jobs more attractive. But I'm amazed at the response I've gotten with both those shows.
Well, they're popular and they're great shows. But something like Cobra Kai, is that something that you would revisit again if they came back to you and said, we want you in the next season?
Well, I was there before that one.
Yeah.
And I love to work. I'm just surprised that sometimes it gets the response that we get.
Yeah. Yeah. It's truly amazing. And also, when you did TV series, it's different. You did what, 26 episodes. It was, sometimes in front of a live studio, whatever it is. And now you look at streaming. Mm-hmm. And, a series, if it goes 10 episodes is a miracle. What do you think about how TV has changed from when you did it to what's going on now and all these streaming services?
Well, what happens with the next pandemic, and I think we'll get one.
Yeah.
The way the world seems to be turning. And they confine us again. What will we resort to then? Nudies?
Yeah,
That was
true.
a good idea.
Yeah. It's so true. But when you make a show, do you think the quality is the same as to what you did back in the day with Lou Grant? And
I worry about that. I worry about
in what way? Tell me.
Well, we're not performing the exactitude that we had formerly shown
Hmm.
endeavor. And so far, they haven't found out that
Yeah.
exactitude wasn't as necessary as we thought it was.
Yeah. It's
Be
interesting.
a clown, be a clown.
And now, well, but on the positive side of the streaming services, everybody is now, all these new generations are watching shows like Mary Tyler Moore, Lou Grant, all these old things that you've done over the years. What kind of do you even follow on social media to see, find new fans, young kids who are reaching out to you because of Up or Cobra Kai or just anything that you've been doing?
Get a lot of mail in that area. I humbly respond, and I'm glad we got something to give them.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. And when you look back at your career and you started obviously on the stage, like we were saying, you're classically trained. There's really nothing you haven't done. Is there anything you still want to do?
Well, fall in love again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Watch out, you're a marked woman.
Yeah. It's truly amazing, your career. Do you ever look back and go, wish I could have done something a little different with a role, or are you happy with what you've given us?
You don't have it.
Yeah.
Might
Yeah,
have little-
groundbreaking performances. I mean, when you look at somebody like Lou Grant, and no, actually, you know what? I want to go even back further because I was saying that I grew up with your stuff. The mini series was a big deal back in the 70s, and you were in some classics like Rich Man, Poor Man, but Roots, I mean, come on. Can you look back at something like Roots and how still today it is so relevant?
I'm just amazed and surprised at its longevity and the fact it was well done
Yeah.
and the honor that I achieved by being in it. But I take as much, if not more, pride in Rich Man, Poor Man.
Yeah.
So beautiful story, well crafted, well done, and intriguing.
Yeah, I mean, and both. I mean, well, hold up. What makes me sad is that it's not event television anymore. You can just turn on and, oh, I'll record it or I'll stream it. That was like event television, or even just watching your shows. Like every week you had to tune in. You had to be there at a certain time. It's so different now.
And Fred Silverman had a lot to do with that. And he decided, for instance, that Roots would play every night. It hadn't been done before.
Yeah. Absolutely groundbreaking. I mean, amazing. And what do you watch these days? Who are there anybody that you prefer to watch, or you just
The news.
the news? No, that's not good. You don't want to watch the news. The news isn't good these days.
However I can get it.
You got to lighten it up, Ed. You got to watch some good comedies.
Probably
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle last night.
Yeah, I did watch Dave Chappelle. That was an old show, wasn't it?
Dave Chappelle, he's a great comedian.
He is funny.
Very.
Man is a genius.
Yeah. No question about it. Well, look, I thank you so much for your time. It was a real pleasure to have the opportunity to talk to you today, and just keep up the great work. I mean, honestly, you're a treasure, and I personally thank you for everything growing up till now that you do. You made a real difference in my life, so thank you so much.
Thank you, sweetheart.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Take it easy and Stay healthy. Did you get your vaccine? Did you get your vaccine yet?
Yeah. I'm waiting to see what happens.
Okay, well, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. And then we can bring you back to Canada, okay?
To God's ears.
Okay, take care. Nice to see you.
Thank you again.
Okay, thanks for your time, Ed. Bye-bye.